Okay, thank you very much for coming. Today I'm going to make my presentation about how can students improve schools, about my project. I'm going to start off speaking about a man that inspired me to start this project. I'll then speak to you about the study I've done. I'll then keep going on the key elements that are going to disappear in the next education system. I'll also talk to you about my first attempt to change education and what I've learned out of it. And in the end, I'll speak to you about the result, about the conclusion, about what I came up with, about my new system, my new alternative education. So first of all, this guy, Keane Robinson. He made a TED talk maybe 6 years ago called How School Kills Creativity. His talk has been seen over 50 million times, and it's a 20-minute long talk, and I'm just going to show you like 1 minute of it so you get an idea.
My contention is that creativity now is as important in education as literacy, and we should treat it with the same status. And we're now running national education systems where mistakes are the worst thing you can make. And the result is that we are educating people out of their creative capacities. There isn't an education system on the planet that teaches dance every day to children the way we teach them mathematics. Why? Why not? If you were to visit education as an alien and say, what's it for, public education, I think you'd have to conclude, if you look at the output, who really succeeds by this, who does everything they should, who gets all the brownie points, who are the winners. I think you'd have to conclude the whole purpose of public education throughout the world is to produce university professors. And the consequence is that many highly talented, brilliant, creative people think they're not. Because the thing they were good at school wasn't valued or was actually stigmatized. If all the insects were to disappear from the earth, within 50 years, all life on earth would end. If all human beings disappeared from the earth, within 50 years, all forms of life would flourish. And he's right. What TED celebrates is the gift of the human imagination. We have to be careful now that we use this gift wisely and that we avert some of the scenarios that we've talked about. And the only way we'll do it is by seeing our creative capacities for the richness they are and seeing our children for the hope that they are.
Yeah. So Keane Robinson is an author, an expert in education, and a speaker. And watching this talk was a real wake-up call for me. It was a shock, and since then, education really became one of my main concerns. So I remember back in February, I was like, how am I going to start? How can I start? What can I do? And I remember we went on a lesson, and we were talking about school, and in a rather negative way. We weren't very happy, and I was like, are we the only one feeling this, being disappointed, or is it like a general feeling? And so I just took my book, I wrote a little a form on it, and I passed it over to other students. And here are the results I got. So when I asked students, do you like school? 50% of the students say yes. 50%. This is already something good. This means half of the students are happy. But this means that 50% of the students go to a place they don't like the whole day doing something they don't like. And I think this is wrong. Then I also asked them, what are you mainly working for? And again, I was very disappointed by the result. 23% of the students chose knowledge, and 77% told me that they were working for grades. And this is again a big problem. When you think about it, every great entrepreneur will tell you that they had a why, they had a reason they were doing what they did. And what we can see here is that students haven't got a why. They don't know why they're doing what they do. They don't know why they're at school. They just, because they have been told that they have to go to school, get to university, get a job. And that's probably why a lot of students are unhappy, because they don't understand what they're doing here. And that's also what makes a great leader. A great leader is someone who explains you why you need to fight for something. He explains you his why and he shares it with you. And that's something that school is a bit failing to do, and that's a great struggle, and that's why a lot of students are unhappy, and then they get frustrated, and teachers get frustrated too. But I believe that this is wrong, because a lot of people just say, like, if I ask my parents, they would tell me, school is just something you have to get through, that's life. But I think this is wrong. School should be something we love. We should get up happy in the morning because we're going to school, because this is something we enjoy, and that's my dream, that's where I want to go to. So Another thing that I was quite surprised with is that as a student, I've never been asked, how would your perfect school be? What would you like? How could we improve your experience as a student? And the reason for this is because school managed in some way to get out of the capitalistic system. For example, if you go to a shop and you don't like the way it's treated, you're just going to go to another shop next time and the guy just lost a customer. But because with public schools it's more complicated to change schools, if we are happy, we kind of have to stay. And that's something that's really different with private schools. For example, in a private school, if you're unhappy, you just leave and they lose a client, they lose money. So they were going to try their best to keep you. And that's a big difference. So what I did is, I just asked students, how would your perfect school be? So I just sent an email to all the students, and here are some results I got. So, there. My perfect school would have a strong emphasis on developing a personal identity whilst learning how to get along in the modern world. Helping students to figure out what it means to be successful. Education should be about developing life skills. My perfect school would involve teaching children that it's okay to be yourself and that any future goal is achievable. Focus on students' aspirations, not teachers' preferences. Focus on allowing students to work towards their own expectations. Can you see all these beautiful things we get when we just ask students, what do you need? What would you like? And that's something that needs to change. So the students need to have the opportunity to tell what they need. So, in my quest to disrupt education, I made a lot of research. And here are 3 key elements that I found that are going to change, that we can afford to keep. The first one is forced timetables. Right now at school, we have this idea that we go to school to learn math, English, and then besides of it, we learn some life skills, like how to deal with people. And I think and there is this idea that one is more important than the other one. And I think this is, again, wrong, and we should switch it around. That we should learn these life skills, like persuasion, how to talk in public, this kind of things, self-confidence. And then on the other side, as a hobby, we should learn math. If we like it, we should learn literature if it's something that we're passionate about. Then, the next key element that's going to change are the forced timetables. There are a lot of comportments we associate with teenagers, like grumpiness, laziness, or depression. And it seems that all these things are actually linked to the fact that we lack sleep, we have a lack of sleep. We suffer from sleep deprivation. And that's normal because we all have different sleep cycles. Some of you can get up very early in the morning, some of you can stay awake very late at night, and that's just crazy that the school tells you you have to be productive between 8:40 and 3 p.m. It just can't work because we all have different cycles and we are all productive at different moments during the day. And the last thing that will have to change is the teaching system. Currently, we live in a teaching system, and that's the same all around the world, where the teacher represents the knowledge and is the one who speaks, and the student is the ignorant one who is listening and who wants to acquire knowledge. And this worked 100 years ago, when we had no internet, when knowledge was very limited, and we had to listen to the teacher to learn things because they learned things from someone else. But right now, with the Wi-Fi, with internet, with all the stuff, we can get so much knowledge from everywhere, and this means the role from the teacher as someone who brings us knowledge just can't work anymore and needs to change. What we need are mentors, are coaches, are people who are besides us, because we can get the knowledge with Google. So, my first attempt was back in 2016. With a few friends, we set up a website where students could rate their teachers. We really wanted to do something good. We wanted to improve education. So we made up a professional form using a form inspired from a Swiss university. We collected the results and analyzed them, and we would delete bad comments and stuff. And the results were completely private. We would never put anything public. We would just send them to the teachers who authorized us to do it. So. But very interestingly, we got 2 very different feedbacks. The first one was from the school, who was faced with innovation for the first time. They were very. They had a very aggressive reaction, and in the end, I got expelled for actually trying to improve my school. When another school could just have said, "Hey, well done," and people get paid to do what I did. So that's just interesting. But then on the other side, what was quite good for us is that we got an amazing feedback from students and parents. They found something they loved. The students found something they needed. They could finally say what they had to say. They could finally help their teachers, because they want teachers to be good. They want to have good teachers. They want their teachers to be happy too. Students and teachers work together. They shouldn't be one against each other. So this was just great to see this, and we learned a lot out of it. So after a lot of research, 1 month ago I came up with my solution. My solution of how we can disrupt education, how we can make something better. And the idea is, instead of focusing on knowledge, we focus on the environment. Jim Rohn, a great speaker and a great entrepreneur, said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do with this project called Action Mastermind. What we do is, if you want to become a dancer, surround yourself with dancers. If you want to become a programmer, surround yourself with programmers. If you want to be rich, surround yourself with rich people or people who want to be rich. So this was my theory. So I started very small with 4 people who I found. We made a Skype call the first time. And then the next week, we did another Skype call. And then the week after, another one. So we talked about the projects, we supported each other, we gave advices, we shared our ideas and fears. And being surrounded by like-minded people was just a complete game changer. Suddenly you felt understood, you had your community of people who were fighting for the same thing. And I've never been so motivated since I've started this. So I've just grown the thing, and we're now 15 people divided in 3 different groups. And they're all getting, I'm getting amazing feedbacks, and from all the people who joined, there is not one person who quit. So that's really amazing. And so my next goal is to manage to get 100 people in this group and to just disrupt education by allowing people to learn what they want just through meeting like-minded people. And that was my project. And that's my conclusion, that's the thing I came up after all this research and knowledge I acquired. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a great pleasure to talk with you. Thank you very much.